Hi everyone and welcome to And So On. My name is Lisa and today I have a sewing year in review. So it's time for a sewing year in review with my top 10 makes of 2022. But first of all, I want to welcome all the new viewers who came on after my last video. It really was very popular and I'm so grateful. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lisa and I'm a Canadian living in Spain with my husband and 2 kids, and I love to knit and sew and do all sorts of crafty things. So as you might hear in my voice, after I made that video, and I had said, oh, I'm getting better, my eldest daughter brought home a completely new bug from school and I got very sick. Not like very, very sick, but as sick as I've been since we've been in Spain. And I was in bed for 3 days and then I was sort of out of bed here and there for 2 days or 3 days. And now I'm a little over a week into this thing. And I do feel better, but I'm not fantastic, as you can probably hear. Upstairs, outside, they're doing road work, and so I'm downstairs in the kids' bedroom, which has a big glass patio door, so at least there's some natural light, but that's why we have the different background. I do have lots, well, actually, for the whole chunk of time that I was sick, I couldn't knit even. That's how bad it was. I do have lots of knitting updates, but I first wanted to do a sewing year in review. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you might have seen my basically Academy Awards for my sewing makes for the last 2 years, and I'll link to those if you want to go watch them again because they are always fun. But I did not make as much this year as I did the previous 2 years, partly because we moved and I just didn't really get my new sewing space set up, partly because we got a puppy unexpectedly and she takes up a lot of time and sort of, you know, she needs a lot of attention. So I haven't been sewing as much. However, I do have a set of fabrics on the way from the fabric sales that I'm really excited about, and I can't wait to show you guys those fabrics and set up some weekly or bi-weekly goals for sewing in the next little while. But I did make enough to do a top 10 makes, and as we're talking, I will put in pictures. I've got my notes here, so bear with me and I will get through them. Now, these are in no particular order. As a matter of fact, they're probably in chronological order because I just started at the beginning of my Instagram and worked back. If you're not following me on Instagram, head over there. A little bonus is I thankfully, right before I got very sick, I sang with our local choir and I did a solo that I really enjoyed in the big church, and I did put a clip of that on Instagram. I can't put it here on YouTube because it will get flagged as copyright. I've tried in the past, it doesn't work. So if you'd like to hear me sing, head over to Instagram, and it's well, at the moment it's the first reel on there. Okay, number 1 is my gray striped dress. So I'll put in a picture, and this is actually a hack. It's a really great hack. It's a mixture of the Elemental skirt, which is a free skirt by Sew House 7, and the it's called the Keep It Simple Babe t-shirt by Emporium, which has a myriad of options. And so I basically used the body and the skirt, put them together on top of some black and white stripe cotton jersey that I got in a local shop here in town, and then I added elbow length sleeves because I generally find, unless it's like summer, my upper arms get cold. So that is number 1. Number 2 is the Lindsay Sweatshirt that I made from vikisews. This was it my first make from vikisews? Maybe. I love this sweatshirt. Actually, when I was sick, I think I wore it for 5 days straight, day and night. It's my first zip front sweatshirt. I made this from a combination of 2 fabric remnants that I got from a place called Stocks Textiles here in Barcelona, or near me. I'm near Barcelona. And I put the 2 together, and then I used a burgundy ribbing from Meter that I also got as a remnant. And I put those all together. And I made this Lindsay sweatshirt. And actually some of the fabric from the black and the gray and white dress that I was just telling you about is in the inside of the pocket, inside of the kangaroo pocket. Really comfortable. I don't know, for some reason I don't think of this sweatshirt as much of a looker. I feel like I might make another one with some of the fabric I have coming up. It's also a tiny bit short in the arms for me. I would extend the ribbing next time, but great pattern, really comfortable, and I think quite stylish. So that's a good one. Number 3 is the Field of Dreams dress. So if you haven't seen this video, I'll link it as well. So I call this my favorite dress pattern because there's so many different variations. It's really easy to follow and I can make it for everyone. So I'll tell you about the main one that I made. The main one I made was in a viscose batiste from an online shop here in Catalonia called Caljoan. And it's in a fig leaf pattern, print is what I'm looking for. And then I, after the fact, ended up, so it's a fully lined top. So it's lined in the self fabric, and then I ended up adding some white cotton voile that I had and used that to line the skirt because it did need it. I've worn this a ton. I've worn it an absolute ton. It's a great pattern. I have also used that pattern. Yes, I've included this. So other ways I've used this pattern, I made a dress for my baby girl, my 14-year-old baby girl. And I used a different version, and she also wanted the waist tie so she could cinch it in because she likes to cinch in the waist. And then I also made a top version using some amazing blue linen from the fabric store that was gifted to me. And I love that top as well. Actually, you know what? The strap is pulled out on that, so I have to fix it before summer, but there's time. Next are the Nita Trousers. Okay, so these I made in a stretch cotton from the fabric sales that was gifted to me last year. And the Nita Trousers are a cropped pattern, and I lengthened them to make them into a full length pattern. Now, I might have given them just a little bit longer, and also when I first made them, they felt really roomy in the front because of the pleats, and I didn't wear them as much. But in the second half of the year, I actually put on a little bit of weight, like not a lot, but maybe 5 pounds. And I find that all of my me-made trousers fit me better with that extra 5 pounds. maybe 6 or 7 pounds. Anyway, I don't know to scale, but I definitely have put on a little bit of weight. And so I actually find that my me-made trousers fit me better this way. So, yeah, so, and again, I made them with the stretch cotton twill, and I don't think it's a stretch pattern. Sorry, I just had to blow my nose. If I'm sniffing, I'm so sorry. You're just gonna have to forgive me. It's either that or I don't post, and I'm already so late in posting that I just thought better to get on and chat. So yeah, like those are nice kind of transition time pants. I wouldn't call them winter pants, although we haven't really had any winter weather. It's been pretty warm overall. I mean, yes, it gets cold at night, but it's definitely not wintry. So I have gotten some much more use out of them than when I first made them, which was like in the spring, kind of at the end of the season. And then it was just hot forever. So now they're getting more wear. Next one is the Endless Summer Tee, also by Pattern Emporium. I made this from some French terry from the website Fabric Site, and I made a skirt to match. And also I made a pair of jogging pants, and I also made a pair of shorts. Now, the only thing is that when I washed the jogging pants, they pilled, like they look terrible now. Like I can only wear them at home. And I haven't tried washing. I don't know if I mess up the washing instructions or what, but I don't want to recommend the fabric to you until I figure out if I either mess with the washing instructions, which I just put them in a regular washing machine. Like you should be able to throw terry into a washing machine, no? I don't know. Anyway, but the cut of the little t-shirt, I love a cap sleeve. I love the contrasting. It's a little retro. The little skirt with the pockets, the sort of lounge style with the drawstring at the waist. I definitely will make another one of those this year, like coming up, because it's very, very comfortable. Like maybe in like a light sweatshirting or something like that, because it's a very comfortable skirt that I can just throw on. In the blue green, it's a little bit limiting. I can only wear it with basically with what it was made for, kind of. Like, did I wear it with anything else? I can't think of wearing it with anything else really. So maybe a more neutral one would be helpful. Turn page. Oh, the True Bias Zoey. So this is one of my favorite finds. And in the end, I've still only made one, but I have lots of plans. And I know that since it's gone out, she's added like a couple of hacks to do like a straight across and a scoop neck instead of, because I think it's a sweetheart. Anyway, I made this in was it a remnant? Yeah, it was a remnant of rib knit from Meter in a green, and I wore this a ton all summer. I never even finished the bottom edge. The bottom edge is still unfinished, unhemmed, but it's so comfortable. I've actually kept it out even though summer is gone because it's a great layer sort of underneath things. I did a built-in bra hack for mine so that I don't have to put anything underneath it. I'm hoping to kind of perfect that built-in bra hack so that I can show that to you in the spring, because I do have another one I want to make, and then I can explain to you how I did it. Because even though you do have a thicker thin option in terms of for the straps, I really wanted that built-in bra, because in the summer I find having a bra and a top, if I can avoid it, I mean, you know, and I can't always avoid it, but if I can have things with that built-in, it's more comfortable. So I've worn that a ton. I'm putting in some pictures, I'm sure now, different ways that I wore it. It's a really great little top. Highly recommend. Number 7 is the Enmore by Lindsay Co. This is also a top that has a built-in bra, and it's a woven, which I didn't think I'd seen a woven top pattern with a built-in bra. Perhaps for a reason after I made it. So basically the built-in bra part is slightly smaller than the regular top part, I guess, to like hold you, but for me it was too tight, and so I ended up like undoing the side seams on the bra part and just leaving it connected at the bottom. Again, there's like different cup sizes in this one, and so I'm sure it was like a measuring error on my part, and also maybe the fabric. The fabric is a cotton. Maybe there was a blend. I bought it at a quilt show, so honestly I don't even know exactly, but it might have had a little bit of linen in it. And initially I wasn't finding it comfortable, but then once I washed it, or twice I guess, and it had like softened up a bit. Now I wear it or not now, but after that I started to wear it quite a bit. And I really like the cut, and I love to make the dress version of this, again with the built-in bra. I did the chevron hack that she shows on the blog, and I do love a chevron. I think for the top, for me, it's better tucked in than out. Tucked in, I find if you leave it out, the length of it kind of chops me in half in a weird way and makes me look shorter than I am. And I think tucked in is just a better look for me. But yeah, I'll definitely make that again. Number 8 is the Gilbert top by Helen's Closet. This is something that I've seen for ages and I always wanted to make. I bought it with a fabric. I made it with a fabric from a fabric sale that a friend went to on my behalf in Toronto, and 2 years later, after the pandemic, brought me the fabric. It's this amazing blue plaid linen, and I love it. And I have to, again, it's also on the to mend pile because the dog was doing something and I reached for her and I broke the seam at the back of the arm side. So next time I might size up. Not that it's too small, it's just when you're lunging after a puppy, it was too small. But I love the look of it. It's, you know, easy to throw on, great pattern. I'll definitely revisit it at some point. The Peppermint Skye shorts. So these are a free pattern from Peppermint magazine. They need a lot of fabric, although I did make them from a remnant, to be fair. I made them from a remnant of linen viscose from Guthrie and Ghani, but I did narrow the pattern in order to do that. I narrowed it quite a bit. I ended up having to line them because they were too see-through. And they look like, they very much look like a skirt. Oh, and I had to shorten them as well. I had to shorten them a little bit, not a lot. So they kind of look like a skirt, but they're very comfortable. I really liked wearing them, or like wearing them. The linen viscose does crush pretty badly. Generally in linen, I don't mind that, except that it's just doing it a lot across the waistband. So if I make them again, well, I don't know that I would make them again, to be totally honest. Not that it was a bad pattern, I just feel like there are other things that I'd probably rather try making than to make those again. And then lastly is the Evelyn Skirt by Chalk and Notch. And I made this in a viscose crepe from the fabric sales. And I particularly chose this because I wanted something kind of French inspired, and I wanted it in a kind of a classic floral with red, black, and white. I didn't specifically want red, I didn't specifically want red, black, and white, but I wanted something French inspired. And the fabric sales, one of the things is they have these, you know, designers who are selling them their dead stock fabric. And Inès de la Fressange is the designer, and she was the muse of, and I always forget, I'll put it here, she was the Karl Lagerfeld. Maybe she was the muse of Karl Lagerfeld. And then she became a designer in her own right. And so you don't get more French than Inès de la Fressange. So when I saw that, I picked that up. And then the Chalk and Notch pattern is exactly what I was looking for. Great pattern. Interesting the way the slit is like open and completely lined. So like when you're walking, I did find that I had to tack it down, but very, you know, I mean, I think the fabric that I picked is quite dressy, and so I perhaps didn't wear it like as a everyday skirt, but I'm putting in pictures here, no doubt. I did wear it a lot, and I do think it's because of the colors and the shape. It's very flexible. I definitely would like to make this one again. It has different versions. It has a short version and a long version. So I would like to make it again, perhaps in something like maybe even a silk would be amazing. Or just like a regular viscose that's a little softer. This crepe has a bit of a rougher texture to it, or just a little bit rougher texture. And so because of that, it's certainly not like a lounge dress or a lounge skirt. It's definitely a little more dressy, but I really, really liked it, and I've worn it a lot. Okay, that's my 10 favorite makes of 2022. And what I'm wearing now, I realized I didn't tell you guys, and you'll see this in my next video. This is my Snowfield slip over from Coco Amour Knits. And I'll see if I can stand up a little bit so you can see. It's really better for me to show you next time when I have full pictures, but you saw me in the last video. This was a work in progress, and now it's all done. And it's been great because although it's not cold, it's also not hot, especially when I go out in the morning. And so if I put this on and then put my leather jacket, which has a broken zipper, so I never wear it closed. It had a broken zipper when I bought it. I bought it from a secondhand shop in Barcelona for €4 when we first got here. And so it already had the broken zipper. But this is perfect because it doesn't make the arms any thicker, but it gives you extra warmth up here. And then underneath, I have my Sew House 7 Tabor V-neck sweatshirt. Another one that I'd love to make another one of. Great pattern. I wear this sweatshirt a ton. Still, I'd like to lengthen the arms a bit. I've got to remember that on patterns. I should just add an extra 2 or 3 inches to whatever they say for the arms. and then I can always cut it back if I need it, because I do sometimes find that I want things just a little bit longer. I mean, it doesn't look too short. It's just my personal preference. I like things to go past my wrist bone kind of thing. And because if I'm, doing anything else, it tends to move up, and I'd like it to live here. All right, guys, that is all for me. Thank you for being patient with me in the last 3 weeks. Thank you for all of you who have been with me for years and years and years, years and years and years since the beginning. And also those of you who have just come on board. I look forward to sharing new things with you in 2023. And hopefully this passes and I will be back to sharing more often really soon. That is my hope and plan. And I hope that wherever you are entering the new year full of hope and positivity for 2023, and that we will all have a safe and happy new year. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.